right. Good morning, Oaks. What's happening, man? Welcome back. Let's see what we can do here. Little Big Sean. Little Big Sean today. Why not? Man, we didn't get the move. We didn't get the move. I was watching for this GME situation. It's a possibility. It's a high possibility. We hit the money line though. We did hit the money line again. But it's just looking like a little bit of a chill pill for a little while on the market, on the this GME move, just for a little bit. But we are in a spot where it's technicals versus momentum here. We kind of talked about this morning in the Discord. We'll see what happens a little bit here. I'm going to put this on X to let people know we're in the building. But man, we're like so close, man. The market's gonna run. Looking for a move eventually. I want to see GME get back inside this level here, back inside of this bull channel. We're way out of the bull channel at this point. We're just trying to survive and get back in somewhat to avoid a head and shoulders, which would be even worse. All right, bear me 1 second here. X. Still trying to get my bearings about this move, this whole thing. Getting better every day, but you know, it's practice. It's practice. Practice makes perfect. Let's find out. Hold on a second. Where's X? But the people that I know that are still riding, have been riding for a long time, can't not say what's up. But you guys in Discord, you're welcome to jump on. Put this link in the Discord as well. Let's see. Boeing. What do we got on Boeing? Boeing should be default China for Boeing should default China for not taking the beautifully finished planes that China committed to purchase. Oh man, you gotta love this guy, man. He has a way with words, doesn't he? He has a way with words that I don't think any president has ever had the way of words that this guy has. It's unbelievable. Best words by far anybody's ever seen. All right, let's see, man, what's going on out here. Somebody else popping up. Give a little time for everybody to show up. If they're gonna show up, we're in the building, man. What are we gonna do? This is it. This is where we're at. After this 50, I'll go back into, actually, we'll go back to where I was at before. Just here for the music. I got you with the track Elemental. What's going on, man? Welcome back. Had this on a little while ago, but I just feel like I need to hear this again, man. It's when you want to sit back and relax a little bit and just Marvin Gaye short in there. All right, anyways. GME, man, is this the conversation we're having right now. GME, we've been talking about this all morning. We also caught this major play on SPY this morning in Discord. We had 537 calls. This thing went up to 543 and change. 115% play. Real quick. Left the runners out of there. Let the runners, got rid of the runners before jumping on the stream. I couldn't sit in position to try to be on stream while at the same time trying to manage the position. Tried that a couple times. It works to a degree, but sometimes it's like, all right, well, you're just trying to manage a couple different things at the same time. You got the music, you got the conversation, you're minding all of this, minding all of that. You might miss out on something or take a L. All right, so got to be careful with that. So doing the best we can here to make things work, but also at the same time providing as much value as possible, providing as accurate information as I possibly can based upon the charts and how I see it. Not financial advice, however you do what you will, but all I provide is an opportunity based upon my own meandering experience. All right, and that's that. But yeah, today was a nice play, man. Very, very nice play. I love the way the setup happened here on the SPY. Right, we had that big move yesterday, and obviously retraced bit bounce off the creek line for the 5-minute time frame, and here we are again, pushing through the 1 hour creek line and trying to continue. But anyways, for anybody who's here, appreciate you guys stopping in as usual. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also, would greatly appreciate a what do you call that? A share on X. Let people know we're in the building. Just talking about a couple different things. Goes a long way to help support the channel as we try to continue to be here a couple times out the week and let some things run while we talk about them. All right. Hopefully, it serves some kind of purpose for you in some one way, shape, or form. Provide some value. At the very, very least, provide some form of entertainment while you go about your day. All right. But I am still watching this stuff considerably. All right, let's take a look and see what's happening here. So, I'm back on GME, man. GME has platinum cross in the 5-minute, 10-minute, 6-minute, 15-minute, all of that. And we're right at the money line. Elliott Wave, as I've been talking about this morning, Elliott Wave says that you need to go down to $23. Momentum says you need to go to 36. So I know 36 is a little far-fetched. However, that's what it says. Best, even more likely, 31 to 32, 32.12 to be exact. However, we're gonna see what happens here. I'm watching a couple different things to see if we can actually get something happening. Really big on the momentum side of things, outside of what's going on with the overall chart. But for right now, this thing is still screaming bullish. It's not enough volume really to follow through at this point. Volume very, very low, but the SPY is pumping, as everybody can see. But the SPY has to continue to pump for GME to get this move and follow through. I think they want to keep the tiger out of the situation. Once you let the foot off the tiger's neck, this thing is going to start to go. And I don't think they're ready for all of that yet. So we'll see. We're going to continue to follow along with this thing, as we usually do. And we'll see what happens next, man. What we got here? Who's in the building? Hey, Braveheart, what's happening, man? Good morning, good morning. Yeah, GMEU. We were talking about that in Discord this morning. They went live this morning today. I really don't have much to say about it yet. It is a very, very interesting take on GME. I will say that much. However, I can't give anything on it for now because there's technically no technicals yet. So it just got formulated. It's going to be based off of all GME, obviously. Whatever GME decides to do in the next little bit. There's nothing to go off of because there's no chart. I can look at it, but there's really not much I can say about it for the moment. Boeing looks like it might make a move here, guys. So I know we're watching Boeing here. Let's take a look at that. Keep an eye on what's happening with Boeing because Boeing is ready to make a move at least to push up to like $90, 190 eventually. Let me take a look at GMEU, see if there's any new action on it since I looked at it this morning at $25. But it's minute by minute right now, unless I missed something. It's at 25.66. Okay, and it's making some strides. It's making some strides. We have a few 5-minute candles now. All right. Is it time to start buying some GMEU? Maybe. I would say, based upon the way GME looks, to me it doesn't seem like a bad idea to have some GMEU. Now it's leveraged long 2x, which means the volatility that comes in on GME will play out much bigger than what it plays out on GME. So this is very interesting to me, that concept. Now, it's like a 2-edge, like a TSLA for Tesla, or a SOXL for the chip sector, right? That's when those particular stocks make a move that's 10%, you'll typically see them make moves like 15, 20, 30%. I mean, that's overkill, but you get the idea. They'll make a much bigger move percentage-wise based upon the underlying stock, on the underlying asset. So it's interesting to see it and how it's going to be used on GME. I don't know if they even have short and GME. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. It could be another realm of control, right? I can't say that's going to be the case, but it's possible, right? Another way to kind of control things. The GME looks like it's going to do some damage, like really soon. I can't stress it enough. Like, it looks like it's going to do some damage, and it just keeps getting held back. You guys see me always posting about all this to stop GME. This is what I keep talking about. But it's GME's on the cusp of like doing some real damage. So if they don't get this under control, it will go to $1,000. So whatever they're trying to do here, these guys are working hard. They're working overtime right now. So we'll find out. But right now, yeah, as far as GME is concerned on the chart, it is looking like it wants to try to hit that $31 mark. We talked about this a couple days ago. Last time I was on stream, we were looking at potentially trying to fill a gap up there. Not a gap, excuse me, a fair value gap. I guess you can call it a gap. A fair value gap somewhere around $32. But technically speaking, that would cause you to break this downtrend that's been associated with the all-time high, right? If you get to $32. Now, I'm not saying you'll keep going, but you'll start the breakout process of this crazy long 4-year long downtrend again, which we broke quickly back last year, literally a year ago. So it's a whole another year cycle that we've just gone through that caused a very large even Adam pattern. All right, so that means that we could see something like that. $31 to $32 would just be a start if it decides to do that. Doesn't have to, but if it did, it'd be beautiful. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. I mean, for the most, all we can really do is watch it at this point on the weekly and the daily time frame. So it's just a matter of time before something gets decided here. But we are at this point outside of this bull trend, right, which is what I've been watching pretty closely, which is this bull channel. We're outside of it for the time being until GME decides to erupt. So we'll see. But we had a supplementary underside, right, of this original bull channel we started. This green, we fell out of it yesterday, which caused that move down almost 2%. And now we're kind of just fluctuating outside of it, trying to find a way to get back into it. So Elliott Wade would say we'll come down to like $25, maybe even $23. But other than that, this will be an ABC correction. However, if we find some way or some news that may be coming around the pike or something, this thing could just push right up and out of this thing because it's very, very low volume at this point on this push down. So I don't really expect too much really craziness to happen as far as another 50% drop like we had last earnings, which was nothing in my opinion more than a reason to just slow down the process. But this is what we up against, man. This is what we're dealing with every single day. Two times on Monday. All right, so this is what we're dealing with. Other than that, let's take a look and see what's going on elsewhere. SPY right now sitting up at 542.43. SPY, I got all the calls prior to getting onto the live stream this morning here on YouTube. So with that being said, that was about 112%, something like that, after I got out. But I just wanted to make sure I kept my eyes on what's going on versus being lost in the sauce if something wound up going the other way. Let me go double check here, see what else is going on. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's always a topic of conversation, so let's see what's happening there. It never hurts to be on top of what's going on with that particular one. Let's take a look here. All right. Once again, appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also share this on X. Get a couple of folks knowing that we're back in business. Taking a look at a couple things. Shout out to anybody that caught that play. If anybody took that play, I should say, on SPY. We talked about SPY. Yes, we did. Second of all, on Meta. Meta was a knockout play. All right, we saw the 505 call on Meta the other day when we called it out, but what happened the following day? If you held an extra day, that was a hell of a play, man. That was special. That was special. So, I mean, congratulations if anybody picked it up. I think you were here, Braveheart, that day. That was a hell of a play. But, I mean, literally went from $488 all the way upwards towards, where's the move? Simply Harm. No, I think it was on, I gotta stop switching these things. But anyways, I'll draw it back up. That was this move here. Falling wedge, clean move, and breakout. Just kept going. Just kept on, just kept going. Just kept doing the thing. Beautiful setup. I think it was this one. Maybe that's it. Once it broke out, came back for a fake little retest and just continued rocketing all the way up towards that 531 level. We looked at, this is today. Oh, actually, this is the wrong one. This is the wrong one. Or is it? No, it's the right one. It's just that I took it from a shorter time, the longer time frame. It was this one. I can't say. But it was yesterday. Or a couple days ago. Or, no, it was 2 days ago. It was this. Okay, it's still here. Sorry. There it is. That's the one. This move. We caught this move from here to 505, 510. Almost 506. From 488 to 510. This thing has now continued to go. So now, as far as this is concerned, you did get a push up the following day, a couple days back, and you obviously hit this 0.5 retracement. Came back downwards, and now you actually flagged again and broke out a second time today. So this is just continuation of a move that we saw the other day. If you start breaking 31.55, you will go to the golden pocket would be your next move on this thing, which would be really nice to see as well. Golden pocket's up here 548, 707's at 545, 554. So I mean, you have 2 levels left to go. All right, before we potentially can see retracement and pull back down back to like 530 to see if it's comfortable up there. But the SPY is actually not done, and it doesn't look like Meta's done either. So in my opinion, SPY, in my opinion at this point, should be heading up towards somewhere into that 548 range. All right, 545, 548 is very possible. Maybe not all today, but 546 is around the corner. All right, you'll get this whole move. I again sold I had 537 calls this morning, myself and the guys in the Discord. 537 calls, ran these all the way up to about 543 just now, and just kind of closed them up at around 115%. And some people are still holding. So I'm always glad to be on that side of the coin, man. I'll tell you that much. Some other people just popping in here. I don't know who's there. All in GME, no options for me. I'm old school. I hear that, bro. Share, yeah, you can't lose with shares, man. Can't lose with shares, bro. Cannot lose. So nothing wrong with that at all. Just keep on averaging in, keep on buying up. Amy's a different story, but Amy's good too. I mean, it's just gonna take a lot longer, but it's all predicated, in my opinion. Well, not, I don't want to say my opinion, but it's predicated for the short term. It's predicated on GME's movement. But for the longer term, AMC has its own set of moves as well. So you can't really go wrong. It's just all the nonsense in between with AMC. So we'll see. But if GME decides to go, well, AMC's coming too. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, this is it. It's a descending broadening wedge using the downtrend from the all-time highs as a resistance point, which is insane. So you got this, it constantly tries to revisit, trying to break out a couple different times now. Once, twice, didn't touch the bottom trend line, and now it's trying to break out again. So it's just a descending wedge over and over again. They can only keep this up until August of 2025, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, if somebody wanted to take a longer term approach at this thing, they can only keep this up for about so much longer. Now, can it break down? It's possible, but that's not what this pattern suggests. It suggests that you're going to go up eventually, but they can keep this kind of waving pattern going up and down like this for maybe another couple months. All right, August, you do this. We'll keep making higher lows, and then we can finally see what happens here. All right, $25 at some point in the future. But ultimately, I mean, they're losing steam, man. It's only a matter of time before they decide to break up to the upside. So we'll see if they can delay the inevitable much longer. But we'll find out soon, man. All right, Pablo, what's happening, man? All right, yes, sir. Are you still holding? Are you still holding them calls from this morning, man? Because it's about to be crazy. We're going to 546 today. That's gonna be nuts. We held 537 calls and rolled them all the way up here. Mad early in the morning, at 9:35, 9:40. Roll up, make 100 and some odd %, and then just go about the rest of your day if you wanted to. But what I'm gonna say, we're addicted. we stay on for a majority of the day. But anyways, the first part of the day anyway. But yeah, you watch it for meta. If anybody's interested in meta, I'm gonna say this again. Hopefully, somebody did this meta play the other day. But if you are interested in meta again, watch for 531.55. You break that, you are going to 540, 540, 545 on meta. So watch that. That's around the corner. SPY breaks this 543 level. That's going to be a great indication of what's about to happen next on meta. All right, who else is here? All right, man, what's happening, my friend? Welcome back, bro. All right, the problem I have with AMC is AA shorting his own company, zero trust. Yeah, it's sticky stuff, man, sticky stuff. What I'm gonna say? Nothing I can do about that, but sit down and hope. Sit down, hope, and wait. But I don't think we go any lower. I think we finally bottomed out. I think it's a wrap as far as downtrend. And also, I don't think he has any more shares to use to keep the stock down. I don't think he's out. He does make very, very specific statements about how he plans to move or how he can't move, which is also interesting on it with AA. Like, he can't buy shares right now. That the wording behind that was very interesting to me. So I keep that in mind, in the back of my head. Meaning that he knows something is coming around the corner soon. So that's how I take it anyway. But yeah, appreciate you guys once again being here. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I share this on X and some other folks up in here. Let them know we back. This rider music still hits, man. I've been listening to this all week. Put the window, weather's nice now here, so put the window down, just chill. Like, this dude going around the block again? Yeah, yes, I am going around the block again. Thank you very much. Listen to my rider music. Relax. And you'll see me in the next 15 minutes. I'm going around the block one more time. How about that? All right, let me see what's going on around here. What's another one? Give me 1 second here. There's that. All right, hold on a minute. All right, GME, where you at? Still stuck here, huh? The GME still stuck underneath the money line. They will not let it go. Something's brewing, man. All right, here's SPY actually breaking out again, guys. So I think we're yeah, a little bit, man. It's a little bit, Oaks. I have to. It's necessary. Keep the stress down. All right, let's see it. GME is still fighting this money line, man. I would like to see it break above 27.56. That money line is crucial. We did touch it. We did breach it once here at 27.58. All right, we are trying to break it again. We have platinum crosses on the 5-minute, the 6-minute, the 10-minute, all of that. And SPY is also moving up. I just can't not see this thing trying to push through one more time back to 28.50, 28.25, at least one more time. But 28.66 is going to be a key spot as well. 27.66, excuse me. So I'm going to mark that off real fast. 27.66 right here. Mark that off. We need to break that, get back inside this underside, and then we can start talking some moves. Let me double check SoFi. So, Oaks, SoFi, have you been following along with that? Because I took my eyes off it for a little bit. With the market moving like this, I mean, you can't deny SoFi would probably be on tap to make a move with the market pushing like this. So you might want to have been following along. I was looking for 13.50 on SoFi really soon. I took my eyes off of it though. Here's 544 coming on SPY, man. All right, this song is a little bit longer than I expected it to be. Give me 1 second here, guys. Grab me a moment while I pull up another track. Weekend girl, weekend. This is camera on, right? 1 second, please. Yeah, it's camera on track. It's about to be next. I had this playing on repeat for a while. There it is. Took profit on it. All right, good stuff, man. Excellent. SoFi, yeah. So SoFi is pumping. There it is. So we've been talking about SoFi. Took profit on the. All right, so we were talking about SoFi since what, $11? And I think I mentioned this on the live stream as well. I didn't get into it myself. However, we knew the play was gonna go. I just stopped watching it. I've been so into GME lately. But here you are, man. This was great. 1235 hit today. There you go. 0.5 retracement to the upside. Let's see what we got here. Excellent. I still have it going to 1351. But so far, it's been following along really, really well. All right, we kind of drew this out. Let's see here, man. That's about to go on repeat today, bro. Wait, it's Thursday. Damn it. I'll play it tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Let's get ready for Friday. $11. All right, let's see here. So as far as it's concerned, it hit this level as we mentioned, $11, excuse me, $12.34, which is a 0.5 off this move down. Oops. All right, so the retracements here. GME's back at the money line again. Oh my gosh, they're holding this thing back, bro. They don't want to see GME win. Anyways, all right, so there's the setup here. Descending broadening wedge, a couple supplemental parts here. All right, off this push down, off with a larger breakout. So far, it's actually been looking really good the entire time, even after the market sell off. All right, it's been looking really good. It sucked. It pushed down, but overall, man, this thing is still ready for a bigger move. All right, longer term, you got this wedge breakout I did a while ago. All right, this wedge breakout already happened. I mean, for now, cup and handle. Within the wedge breakout, you had this move all the way upwards towards about, what, $18? All right, that was excellent. 18, $19, came back down, retraced, and caught the bottom trend line. And then broke out again. It's breaking out again as we speak within a descending broadening wedge, which is causing this move. So 1350 would be your next target. Now, will you break all the way through that? You probably retrace first. I wouldn't be surprised if you come back down to like $12. After you hit 13, back to 12, maybe even $10 at the lowest. And then from there, start to rebuild for a bigger move eventually in the future. But ultimately, this thing can go up, you know, pretty nicely, man. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't eventually start to make some real big moves in the future. Once you start to break the 707, start breaking the golden pocket, I can see this going up to like $38, maybe even 40 something bucks in the future. However, gotta give it time, man. This stuff always takes time. If we did a trend-based fib from here to the top side, I'll take this trend base from where it recently hit the most high into the most low. All right, and then we'll try to take it from there. Let's pull this real quick. Let's go from this low here to this high and then to this low. $40 in the future, midterm future. The 1.16 is somewhere around here, about $21. Potential to 1618, about $32. So this would make sense in the future. 32.66 would make sense. So far, it's not a bad deal. Longer term. All right, it's going to take a while to do all of this. Don't think it's going to be happening tomorrow, but it will happen. SPY, as long as SPY continues in this trajectory, I'm looking for SPY to head up towards somewhere in that range, somewhere around. Let's see, somewhere around the 618 level. Short term, I'm looking for somewhere into that range, which is around 565. And that would make sense. SPY is still struggling here at 543 and change. Give it some time to do what it needs to do. But now we have established new higher lows. It's just a matter of time, man. Matter of time. All right, 1 second here. Appreciate everybody once again stopping in. You guys could have chosen to be anywhere else, but you're here with me. I totally appreciate you for it. All right, 555 is next up, and then followed by 563. Creek on the 4-hour time frame, 568. You start breaking that, forget about it. It's over. All right, also looking for a platinum cross here to happen here shortly on the daily time frame, which is not happening in quite some time. All right, so that would be interesting to see that happen. But that happens once you start to break above 548. Once you're above 548, you get a platinum cross in the market, which has not been accomplished since March of 2023. And I mean, I'm not saying you're going to do this entire move again, but it's pretty interesting if it happens. You'll start to break the downtrend, and you at least wind up in that 570, 580 range. Better case scenario or best case scenario, somewhere around 618, which has still been the target since we've been talking about this for the last, I don't know how many years, about a year now, since we've been back on this thing. I mean, off and on. Right? Took a couple months off, but since what, May last year? So we've been talking about 625, I don't know how long now, but yeah, still a situation. Who's in the building here? Somebody else has popped in. We got John Vincent. What's happening, my friend? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a little while. Appreciate you. Hero of the day. You should stream every day. I appreciate it, man. It's a little tough sometimes, but I'm at least committing to about 2 days a week. So I'd love to continue to see you here, hanging out with us throughout the day, just for about an hour or so, hour, 2 hours or so, on about two trading days a week. So we're gonna do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think that's a healthy amount, so we can continue to pay good attention to what's going on in the Discord. Stick around with the guys that are in there. We're doing a lot of good things as well in that group. And there's a lot of big plays being made up in there, including one that was 1,500%. I know he's in here somewhere. I'm assuming he's in here somewhere. But man, 1,500% play yesterday, man, was crazy off of the SPY, all right, off the SPY move. So big congrats to some of the folks in the group, man, doing some nice things up there. Some other folks came in here. Let me see. Saint, what's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Andy, welcome back. MSTR. All right, we're gonna go back for that. SoFi, John Vincent, Spaghetti Master. Oh, we here. What's happening? Welcome back, Spaghetti Master. AMC. Yeah, AMC is waiting right now. It's going to be predicated on GME's potential move, and then if not, it's going to be earnings. Earnings, I believe, is the second week of May. So we're waiting for earnings to see what's happening as far as AMC is concerned. So it's going to move slowly, but I still in full belief that AMC is at the bottom. It's no longer going down. It's over. All right. So if it's no longer going down, the inverse is true. All right, so it can only go up from here. And you want to see us building a nice, strong base the way it's been building so far. So it's only going to get better. All right, Positive Insight, what's happening? Welcome back. I still have targets on AMC at about $18. I'm going to stick with that. Now, it's going to take a while to do it. Don't expect it to happen tomorrow. I never called squeeze. All right, the last time I called squeeze, all right, seems like Adam Aaron heard me and he decided to dilute. All right, that was the last time. So he did it. He came in right on time. You guys remember that. Some of the folks have been here that have been watching me on X, or listen to the stuff I post on X. That was the last time, and that's exactly the day he called for the last share dilution. So, yeah. So right now, there's nothing to talk about until there's something to talk about. You feel me? So we're gonna wait. But for now, at least the best I can say is the bottom is in on AMC. That's the best I can say for now. So do what you got to do down there. And just be patient with it as much longer as long as you possibly can from this point forward, because it will make its way. All right, like my man Oaks like to say, when you least expect it, expect it. All right. All right, let's see. Other than that, let's go back to a couple charts that were called out earlier on. Who mentioned one? It was Master, MSTR. So let's go to Master, which right now with Bitcoin doing the thing, we're looking at Master. Let's see. I'll remove SoFi for now. I'll borrow this. MSTR. All right. Master, I'm still watching every now and again because I have Master going to like $600. Like soon. And with Bitcoin about to go to new all-time highs, yeah, I got Master going to like $600, guys, at least. I don't mind all this stuff up here. All right, $600. All right, This is what I have. All right, it's following this trajectory nicely. It's just taking some time to do it. Now, in terms of time, the beautiful thing about what's going on right now as far as mass is concerned, who's asking this? Andy, right? I think it's Andy. Andy, yes, Andy. All right. So Andy, basically what this is about is that master is now above old all-time highs. Old all-time highs was sitting at about $333.94. All right, you have now broken above that. You've also broken above a trend line or a speed line, they like to call these, where the price has returned to on several occasions as upside movements are taking place. All right, this green line I have marked here. You're above all of that. You have formed a parabolic arc setup, which is a multiple base touch, breakout, touch, breakout, touch, breakout, and you're above this. If this continues, which it should, once you start breaking above like 350-ish, it should start to really pick up some steam, and you'll go into that $500 to $600 range very easily. Obviously, right now the all-time high is 560. We're above the old all-time high, so yeah, you're going $600 eventually. So it's not a bad idea to be accumulating, especially with GME, not GME, excuse me, with all I think about is GME lately. Especially with the fact that Bitcoin is looking like it's going to make its way up towards new all-time highs. In the short run, if you're looking for short run plays, I'll be looking somewhere towards that 350 mark, around 350, maybe max 360 short term. So, I mean, it's going to have its ebb and flows. Don't expect it to run straight up right now to $600. But for the time being, you did get some major crosses here, which include the 4-hour platinum cross, which you've been watching, but weren't playing specifically. But for the time being, hold on one second, folks. Sorry. 1 minute, folks. Sorry, bear with me. All right, sorry about that one, guys. Just had a quick situation there. All right, so appreciate you sticking around. Let's see who's back in here. Best Buy likely moving to 539. We're going to AMC $3 calls expiring May 30th. Number 3. All right, we'll go back into that in just a second here. Just finish off what we were talking about a second ago, at least, real quick, on Master. Short term from my guy Andy, who's in here. All right, short term Andy. All right, cool. So as we mentioned, it bounced off that level here, which is 333.94, the old all-time high. And now you're looking at getting a little bit of a flag. Eventually, you'll get to this move up here, probably into that $400 range. 350, 360 is going to be pretty key. All right, 350, 360. So we're gonna see what happens there. But right now it looks pretty good. Volume to the downside as prices try to retrace and come back downwards. It looked really good. Low volume to the downside. You want to see increased volume as prices decides to continue upwards. All right, I'd be looking for next levels here. 382 is at 355, which you've already touched. You're looking to try to break that to the upside. If you do, your next target would be at 373. Would be at the 236 retracement. So that would make a lot of sense to go up into that range on the high side, potentially even higher. The 0.95, 0.16 are up here at around $400. Would make a lot of sense to do that. But for the time being, buy more master. If you're looking to go long on it, can't go wrong with shares. We're trying to play options. I know a little pricey, so just be careful with that. All right, what else we got going on here? You're looking at $3 calls for AMC. You could do it. I would do leaps. I mean, they're going to be pretty cheap, man, because it's simply for the simple fact that one, we're not going down anymore, in my opinion. We're done going down. That's over. Number two, there's very, very low volatility, so the price is going to be like very low. And number three, you'd be able to withstand whatever volatility comes out of earnings on AMC. So because of that, it's better to go further out as much as you can and go with those longer term opportunities. If you go too short term, it'll work against you, especially with earnings coming up next month or next week or two. So I would be more inclined to go with something a little bit longer out, very close to the money, $3 calls for like 6 months down the line at least, if not more, for a year even. All right, so watch out for that. What else we got? Appreciate you guys once again. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe. Share this on X. Get a couple folks up in here. Let them know we back at this thing once again for a couple times a week. All right. Mighty Green. SPY likely to bounce from 539. To bounce from 539. I have SPY bouncing and still going up. All right. So you want to be mindful of this 707 retracement off of the more recent move. Let's take a look at that real quick. And we got news. China pushes back for tariff cancellation to end the U.S. trade war. Really? Oh, really? So are we de-escalating the trade war right now? Is that what we're doing? Well, SPY to 600. Let's go. Let's do more of that. Yeah, but as far as this is concerned, we have a rejection here for the time being at 543, which is a very, very major spot. 543.77, which is the 0.886. You're now coming back down here. You're holding at the 786, which is roughly around 542.36. So if you start losing that, I'd be looking for at least a touch back somewhere in that range between 541 and 540, which would be a test back of the golden pocket, which would make a lot of sense. Not to mention, from a momentum perspective, which is which is our thing, you have the 1 hour creek line sitting right here at that same exact level. I would expect a bounce off of that, which you can see when you clearly broke through that 1 hour creek. You see how the price kind of erupted and kept going. You can see it back here yesterday, erupted and kept going before it retraced. Notice again, you broke through the creek on the 1 hour time frame yesterday. As the price broke through it, you fell down like crazy until you landed on the 45-minute and 2 hour creek. Bounced off, kept doing it, broke through those, ran right up and broke through it again. So this is clearly your area of opportunity. But when you see it come back down there, that's most likely going to be a retest like it was yesterday. You'd bounce off of that and be looking for the next opportunity. So that exact number is somewhere around 540, which lines up with what people would normally use, which is the golden pocket. It's about 540 and 11 cents, just around that area. So if we do get that push down, you're watching for 541.23. You want to see how it reacts, see if there's any reversal volume, such as a high volume candle or a high volume wick or high volume activity. It's like a high volume spike. If there is not, that means you're going to come down a little bit lower. And once it gets down there, 9 times out of 10, there is always volatility at creek lines. Once you touch a creek line at that level we just kind of talked about, which is also coincided with that golden pocket, that would most likely be an opportunity to enter to go the opposite direction. But it's all going to be indicative by end of trend volume, which is something that we talk about in the Way Up Trading Group. Is at the end of it, you will see a high spike in volume of some sort on the lower time frames, like the 1, 2, 3, 4 minute or even 5 minute time frames, and then you'll see a reversal go the other way to start to make a move to the upside or to the downside if it's a negative play. All right, let's see. You talking about June 20th? Hopefully that's helpful, Mighty Green. I need 10 to 15 for AMC. Bro, if we get to 10 to 15, 4 years would not have gone in vain if we get to 8. 4 years would not have been in vain at this point. We get to 8, 9. I'm great, but I know not everybody's in that situation. However, 10, 15, I think everybody should at least be back if they've been doing what they're supposed to do. So as far as that's concerned, I think we'll be just fine. But we need time. We're gonna need some time on that because it's not gonna go straight to 18 tomorrow. It's not gonna happen. Earnings, we got to be waiting for earnings to see how it's gonna operate, and see what happens from there. But as far as SPY right now, it is bouncing off the 786. So 42.36 so far is still holding. All right, so it's more bullish than it looks like. And if this news is for real, where they're saying they're trying to end the trade war, I'm saying this from Newsbreak. China pushes back for tariff cancellation to end the U.S. trade war. If this is correct, this is real, we'll probably get ready to start going now. All right, so just be mindful. News is gonna in this climate that we're dealing with in the market. News is right now everything. All right, because we're in la la land right now. A lot of this stuff, it's visible, but a lot of this stuff can change on a dime. All right, in this very sensitive time that we're dealing with between the last couple months we've been in the markets. All right, and also since we have new administration, so it's just something to be mindful of, man. Just be careful. Just be careful. All right, but yeah, so far so good. We're in the last days out here, man. Shout out to anybody who knows what this is about. It was only necessary to put this on based on where I was going. If you know how I get down, guys. Come on, you guys have been here for a while. All right, let's see what's happening here. Definitely a pull back. They're gonna have to buy calls cheap AF. Yeah, I think so. If that's the case, we'll get a little shot down, bring the price down. Everybody jumps in. Calls go the opposite way. That's usually what happens. That's how they get everybody. The fake out, the shakeout. Bring the price down, tank it, jump in all at once, and then they go right back the other way, much higher. Everybody wins. Well, whoever's watching it wins anyways. All right, let's see here. GME. GME still struggling to get that money line broken through, man. I don't know. It's not really game time unless we get above 27.56. Other than that, we're playing Elliott wave. ABC correction. Sucks. ABC correction would say go down to like 20. Again, we mentioned this, down to like 25 and change, possibly even 23. All right, just want to be mindful of that. That's what Elliott wave would say. Momentum says we go to 31. I mean, right now I see it's been blocked out pretty hard right now at this 27.56 level. Should be your ABC correction. All right, one more time. Let's see what's happening here. Bear with me a second, folks. Low on battery over here. All right, that's all good. Let me pull up this chat box elsewhere. Give me 1 second. YouTube, so I can see what everybody's talking about in the meantime, or else I'll lose your chats. Give me 1 second. Once again, appreciate everybody stopping in, hanging out. Could have chosen to be anywhere else, but you chose to spend a little bit of time going over these charts and hanging out with me today. Totally appreciate you guys for it. Make sure you guys share this thing on X. Get a couple other folks up in here. I truly appreciate it. Gonna try to be here at least a couple times a week. Get this thing happening as much as possible. All right, okay, I got the chat box on my other screen. Good. All right, May 30th calls. Yeah, I think I answered that. I would suggest going further out because May 30th is a little bit too close and we got earnings coming up. and it's really cheap right now, very cheap right now, for as far as AMC is concerned. Talked about that. 10 to 15, June 20th, maybe. God, go farther. June 20th, it's a maybe. The farther the better. Farther the better. What's going on with the CGC right now? CGC, it's making a move. People stressed, man. CGC. Let's find out. Oh, CGC with a pop off. What's going on here? 17%. I would imagine you got a 5-minute platinum cross on it this morning, but what is probably news related, but I don't. It looks technical from what I'm looking at right now. Let's find out. Something going on here. Looks like a technical breakout, but it started off yesterday with a 1-hour platinum cross here on the 1-hour time frame. What are you, a daily breakout? That looks pretty significant. Let me remove all this stuff. This is harm. Okay. Move drawings. We'll start over. Let's see, you have an ignition set up on this thing that just broke through on the daily. That happened yesterday. Yesterday's daily ignition was at $1.13, and confirmed today above 140. Confirmed today above what? 130, 133. So this is a daily breakout, man. So you have ignition that says this wants to go up on this time frame, and you got a. Let's see. I'll take it from here. In this time frame, so I'll pull a fib from high to low. This looks like 155 is your next target. If you break 155, you're going up to about 205. This is ready to start to make some moves. So in this sense, this looks really good. It looks good. Yeah. So CGC might be ready, man. CGC. I say ready. It's ready in a way to play to the upside for now. Right? It's obvious for now. Like, $2 and change. It's a long-term descending broadening wedge for about the last 5 years, almost 4 years and change. All right, I can see that very clearly now. Did not ever break this bottom trend line. You look to try to touch this thing eventually. So roughly about $2 and change to about $3, about a 50% retracement. So if you could find a way to try to break out, you can get back to the 707-ish, which is about $6 and some odd cents. But for now, short term, this is a buy. It's a buy, especially over 155. But if it gets there, you will see some kind of a stumbling happening at around 155. But yeah, so this looks good. I would see about 239 very easily. But 205 looks like it's around the corner. So from here to there, I would have to say from here to there, once it decides to break, you can see another 65% move. 60 to 65%, 30 to 60% move. All right, this is excellent. So it's time. All right, now will this break out and continue to go? I can't say that just yet. However, it looks really good for at least a turnaround on the weekly time frame. So you'd be having to be willing to hold this obviously for a while. Could it do it all in one shot? Of course. However, I wouldn't play for that kind of a move. Good thing about this, these are cheap enough to get a lot of shares, right? Underneath $2. I mean, you can get a lot of shares for this kind of money, and then you can just kind of ride them up, make a nice little bag off this thing. 50%, 60% move potentially. I mean, $2-3. Why the hell not? 260, yeah, it makes sense. I like it. 260 is possible. I can definitely see it, man. If you're looking for 260, but yeah, I'm in this range here between 205 and 240, at least a 382 on the daily. And if you break that, then possibly go a little bit higher, $3. So in this range, definitely. But I can clearly see where you're getting the idea for 260s, 250s, somewhere in that range. Makes a lot of sense. I like it. So yeah, man, good luck, man. This looks good. Congratulations if you already got in on this thing. I haven't been really watching these that much, but there's some moves happening on some of the weed stocks, stuff like that. Also, what was another one that was making a move today? So FFAI made a little move today. Or starting to make some moves. So some of the cheaper stuff is starting to make some waves, especially with the market kind of getting some new life right now. And if this tariff stuff is for real, you gotta watch these potential squeezes, man, because they're out there. They are out there right now. So here's your. Man, I gotta keep going back to GME. When we talk squeeze, I have to talk about GME, man. It's necessary, bro. Like, I have to. It's automatic. I just like my mind just goes into it. It has to. We're still flipped up on the weekly. Yeah, we're still flipped. It's only 3 times in history this has really ever happened. It's now, May, and January, and that's it. But they want to fight it. They want to fight it. All right, Jack, what's going on, man? FFAI went to 150 last May. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. FFAI was there last year. That's correct. That is correct. Let's look at FFAI for a second. Let's see. This HNS on SPY, head and shoulders on SPY look like it's gonna play out. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at it in the short term, but if it's gonna play out, we just talked about those levels here a second ago. FFI is making the move here, so I haven't looked at this in a couple months. I'm long on FFAI. My average is in the 130s, so I'm waiting for a move against up to that $5 range eventually. So I'm gonna hold out for that. So I mean, I played FFAI nicely. It's about 330 last. I think it was last year. All right, I made a quick play on that. It might have been. Yeah, damn, it's been a year already. Goodness gracious, bro. Where's the time gone? But yeah, was this play? I don't know. It was like $3 or something like that. I don't remember what it was. I just remember making the play. So yeah, once you start seeing moves like this happening on the market, you know, it's like they're preparing. It's like GME is like around GME is the big boy. That's how I be feeling a lot of the time, anyways. It's like they were just waiting, right? And they're like, okay, all the little fish are getting out the water for the big fish to to jump in, all right? Or the big old whale about to, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of something like that. So that's how I look at it, anyways. I'm not sure if that's the case, but it always feels like that. Little stocks around the corner start squeezing like crazy. Next thing you know, GME goes. Just a way to look at the lay of the land and things like that. That's all it is. But we'll see if that's actually the truth, though, because GME's on the edge right now. It will have been 1 year. Let's see.
Check me out right here, yo. Turn the track up.
All right, now I can turn this off. No Diddy real quick. All right. Yeah, all right, no Diddy right now. Let's see. All right, old school, man. It's RNG right here. All right, let's go back a little RNG. All right, anyways, back to SPY. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. So we're looking at this potential. You mentioned the potential head and shoulders, right? Let's find out. Got a little small head and shoulders trying to build itself out here on the short-term time frame. Everybody starts screaming distraction. Speaking of distractions, how's Clove doing? I think that's funny. How's Clove doing? Clove was about to make a little move yesterday. I think we talked about it on Tuesday. If you guys were the guys that were here yesterday on Tuesday, I keep saying yesterday. Clove was trying to make a little move the other day. We did talk about it real quick. And Clove is making a little move. I think it was he's not here today, but he got a bunch of shares at around like 330. So it was a little minor move. It did make a move to about 350. I think he had like 12,000 shares, something crazy like that. At 330 to about 350, that's not bad. From 333, I think his price point was 333. If you got out or was willing to take some profit, that's 6%. A couple thousand shares, that's not bad. All right, it's not a bad play. See, when you're playing with that kind of funding or that kind of position, you don't need to go 100%. Why? What's the point? Take your money, or unless you're playing a different play, right? Some people will do it for, different reasons, right? There's a lot of different reasons to do certain things. Maybe he's playing a strategy. Maybe he's, selling shares or selling borrows or whatever. A lot of different ways to do this stuff. But who knows? If you're just playing the play just to make some money real quick, well, that was a play. For 12,000 shares, why the hell not? 6-7%. Let's find out. So let me take a look here at this head and shoulders we're talking about here on SPY short term. And looks like a weak head and shoulders. I'll say that much because it's still holding up about 13 right now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really like Clove like that, to be honest with you. But hey, he made a nice little assumption, But it is making some higher lows. I will give him that. It was making slightly higher lows here on Clove. So it looks like it did want to kind of break back upwards at least for a little bit. I'm not saying that it's ready to start to really go, but doesn't mean you can't catch a quick play. All right, it doesn't look great. Quick play at very best. Volume pop here, end of trend volume, as we talked about a little while ago. Price came down, volume pops up, telling you that buyers are stepping in to reverse the price. You get ignition volume, which tells you the price is going to move back in the other direction because of high interest buying, and then you get this move. So you got this move and then a rejection, light low to the downside, and get one more move. He bought like around here. All right, what you really want to do is catch here, this big volume pop, and buy it up. That's where you want to buy, but not everybody sees it like that all the time. So you have to really, really be on it. SPY is getting comfortable up here. That head and shoulders that's trying to play itself out is trying to turn into a cup and handle. All right, potentially. We'll see what happens here, but this is a very crucial level, 542.72. If you start breaking and holding above 542.72, you'll have a chance to start to probably turn this into a wedge and start to break to the upside. But it is getting very comfortable up here on very, very low volume. So we'll see. And you're still holding the 13 on the 5 minute. And you're getting these wicks. If you notice these wicks that keep trying to push you upwards. Let me see something here. How's the RSI look? What time is it? Going into lunch as well, so take this all with a grain of salt. Volume is still flipped positive on the 5 minute time frame, has not deviated, and you're still in accumulation here. All right, this setup right here on this, what I use is shaft trend cycle, a little bit different than using, in my opinion, a little more accurate than what you get on the MACD. However, it's still, this shows the accumulation pattern that's happening. So in my opinion, this is probably going to try and go up one more time. The only issue I have with it right now is that you're so high up and so overbought right now. It's crazy on a 5 minute. So you want to see further consolidation for like maybe another half hour to an hour up here. When I mean up here, I'm talking roughly around, if you're bullish on this thing, I should say, if you're looking for a call play. If it can hold above 542.15 for like the next half hour, at least, or throughout the entire lunch period, then it's a bear trap, and then we're probably going to go up higher. I'm still seeing a likelihood of going towards about 546, 548 today. Very possible. But we'll see. All right, you got to give it a little time for it to play out. Right now, you did hit this level, which is the 0.886 at 543.70. If you break 543.70, obviously in this range, your next target is going to be up here at 545, which is the 1 fib, and then from there you'll get one more push up into the what I call the P pocket. In this range of 0.1095, and then 1.16 is in this range here somewhere, very likely 547. But right now it looks more like a bear trap than anything. All right, and it's actually starting to go. So let's see if this decides to play out. So congrats to anybody that's still in Discord that's still holding these 537 calls, man. I think this is beautiful. We have 537 1 DTEs, man. Insane. If you get this breakout, can GME come back alive, please? Enough's enough, GME. Come on, let's break the money line. Let's do it. I've had about enough of you, GME. I want to see at least 2766. Hey, give me at least that. 2766. Come on. That's so I at least can feel better. If we can close above the money line, I'd be even ecstatic. But if not, this is going to be an ABC correction, and it's going to suck. And that's that. So we'll find out in a little while. Let me see what else we got going on here. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying. Pretty sure that was a massive bull trap. Oh, wait, no, sorry, wrong one. Volatility on SPY is bullish. Yeah, no, it was definitely a bear trap. So it's starting to set up as a bear trap. But again, I would still prefer to see some consolidation up here. All right, between 542 and about 543.71. So just kind of hang around in between here, and then from here, start building some strength. But right now, the volume looks like it wants to go up. All right, you have an increase in volume as prices moving up, and very, very relatively flat volume up here. So in my opinion, this is starting to form a cup and handle, and you're gonna break out and go higher. So yeah, give it some time. But we're going to the lunch period. So lunch period generally has a very low volume, setup anyway. So we'll find out what happens here. But it doesn't look bearish right now at this point. It looks very strong. Let's see how this GMEU thing is looking right now. See if there's any real activity still. I mean, we're starting to build some kind of a trend at least. So that gives me at least a trend to go off of. This is a 3-minute. I'm going to be paying close attention to this for the next little bit. So it looks like the trend is up. Hell yeah. Let's do that. Let's play the trend. Let's keep an uptrend here. We have no chart obviously to go off of, and yet GME still is being held down. So if we don't hurry up and get back above this 2756, we will get a head and shoulders. All right, it's trying to formulate itself here. I'm not a fan. Let's see, but we did know that 2815 was going to be a problem. All right, so we did know that. That was the concept. That is a monthly resistance, and monthly resistances don't play. They don't play that. They don't play that game. I'll give you an example of a monthly resistance like that, but it was a little bit different. But still, it's still worth conversation here. Prime example of a monthly resistance like that. That's what happened with Tesla a while back. If anybody remembers this move, I'm pretty sure everybody does. We were all part of it, I think. A little bit different, just not as aggressive. Let's see, because the aggressiveness is a little bit different in general. That's how I'm gonna remove all these drawings, just for sake of conversation. Look at this, all this time, and I guess my way up trading guys that are in here, you would know what this is about. Now that you see Tesla, I should have actually looked at this in advance. But look at Tesla. Look at this dark red line. You guys know what this is. All right, using the 255 PPI. Look at that, the bottom on the monthly though. Not on the weekly, on the monthly time frame. So the bottom was basically off PVI, and now it's been pumping back upwards towards 280. Crazy. All right, 217 was the bottom just about, and then pumped right back up to 280. Anyways, and actually a little higher. What's that? 282, yeah, 286. Crazy, man. Let's go to. All right, I wanted to see the monthly level. We talked about this a second ago, which is where is it? Here we go. All right, this is a while ago though, but I think the idea would be pretty clear either way once we see it. All right, in Tesla's case, I wrote this for now. Tesla hit a monthly level back here at about 254. This was a long time ago though. This is like way back. Now it's January 2024. I remember playing this play all the way up until here on the monthly resistance level, and then it obviously dropped like crazy. All right, these monthlies are very vicious when they're not your friend, when they're against you or above your price level or your price action. They will act as aggressive resistance levels. So that's what we have to deal with the GME. I mean, the price went up at that point 255, almost 260. From 255 to 260, we dropped from there all the way down to 140. Almost a 50% loss on the entire stock. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen to GME. I'm just saying, just giving you an idea of what this resistance will be like when you're dealing with monthly resistances. And that's what GME is up against at this particular point in time. Right? Trying to really reflect or trying to really do something about the damage we just hit at that monthly resistance level. Right? They're not common. But when you do break them, though, forget it. You start going. All right, we've done that in the past. It's not the first time we've been up against it in GME. It's just that it's the most recent. And I got to keep on pointing this out because I know it's a very clear-cut thing, right? When it comes to GME. But you can see this blue one here, monthly resistance level. Like that's how I knew when I'm mentioning it on X. We need to break 28.15 in order for us to start the melt to like move up way higher, to mark all the way up. If we start to mark up, break this level, we start marking up into that range. $31, $32, $32.12 will be the target if you can break it. But obviously, they don't want you breaking that. So what you got was the opposite reaction. All right, you got pushed back down. Now, did you get pushed back down all the way? No. But we did get pushed down to another level that acted as support, which is $20. We were buying down here at $20. All right, multiple times. All right, $21, $20, all the way down here after the move that happened with the earnings. So we rose all the way back up. We started buying calls around $23 actually. And those calls closed out, majority of them yesterday, about 130 something percent. And those are a long-term swing. Right? Those were almost like 3 weeks long. I held on to those damn things. But it's because of understanding this stuff. This is what it's all about. But other than that, man, these monthly resistances, once you break this blue line, then it's going to start to get fun. But it's been a while since we've broken that blue line. Last time we actually fully broke it was obviously a squeeze in May. And then this blue line here broke again in October, November, but we didn't fully fly up. Roaring Kitty came in, all that stuff. A lot of nonsense was happening around here. And ultimately we dropped back down. But we had our third attempt here, obviously, right here, just yesterday. And now we're just trying to do it again. Let's see if we can break through. But momentum is on our side to try to make it happen. The only problem is that from a technical standpoint, they don't want to see us win. So I digress. But that's the situation we're dealing with, man, as far as GME is concerned. AMC is just kind of waiting, just being dragged along right now until either earnings or GME decides to make a move. All right, other than that, let's see. How come Tesla is up despite horrible earnings? It's up because of the technicals, man. I mean, it is what it is. This is kind of what we're just talking about. The bottom on Tesla was visible. I didn't look at the monthly at the time because I kind of stopped watching it. I was looking at it from a bearish perspective, but I wasn't looking at it long term. I didn't take a play on it, but a lot of guys in the crew, in the Way Up Trading Group, took puts on it all the way down to like 214. They made a bunch of money on that damn thing, downside, based upon the rules of volume and the indexes we use to kind of follow that. In terms of the bounce, it just was at a spot to bounce. They ran it down into a support level, and then they run it right back up. They don't care about the earnings. They just care that it's a value buy based upon what the chart says. A lot of the time is that the chart is like really telling the real story. Everything else that these guys talk about on the news, on this or that, the third, is always to fill in the story about what's really happening on the chart. And I guess to quote Trump right now, the geniuses of the world are the ones that understand. It's the truth, man. It's clear as day, but the problem is you know, it's like, you know, they time it so well, man. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but they time it so well for it to make so much sense. And then the people that are in a position to hear the information beforehand, they roll around making bags. I mean, there's a video of him saying how much this guy made $900 million today. This guy made a few billion today. How much did you make? I'm like, goodness gracious, man. Like, just because of a tweet, all right? So, or just because of news, or because of this, or that. And these guys are lined up in position. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. The only thing that we have, you know, from this perspective, from this side of the coin, is to basically use the charts to our advantage and understand where this stuff stands, and then jump in when we see it. And I kind of have the faith in it that it's going to work out, because it will. Right? The only problem is there's a lot of other voices out there that may you know, take you off your game, and that's the part you got to be mindful of. Which, i.e., the news, i.e., the cultural environment, i.e., fill in the blank here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different things out here, but if you just understand this stuff, very simple, to some lines. All that stuff is going to act as noise, and you'll start seeing what we're talking about. Like, it doesn't make any sense for Tesla to have done bad earnings, technically speaking, not really bad, but, you know, didn't do great, and have run like 12%. Makes no psychological sense, no sense at all. But it did, because of what the chart said. so that's basically all there is to that, man. But man, that's how that works, bro. I wish I can give you a better answer than that, but that's basically based on the years of doing this stuff. You know, it's a lot more technical than it is, you know, news based. But everyone's trying to save face at the end of the day, man, as far as I can tell. So put it that way. Bro, SPY might go higher. Bipolar right now. Head and shoulders and top. It keeps changing if it needs to pull back. No, I wanted to see this consolidation, man. I don't think it's gonna really drop yet, but it is double topping. But it's this consolidation in this area. It's got to hold here, and it's got to be very, very low volume. Because ultimately, I still see a run up. Can it come down? Let me start erasing some of this stuff. It can, but I don't think it'll stay down. That's the only problem. And if it does, if you do see it come down and you do see a pop in volume, you want to jump in. All right. We call this end of trend volume, reversal volume. One of the tactics that we use in the group is ignition volume, is what it's called. When you see large institutions get in based upon certain crosses, you can kind of figure out where they're getting in, and you'll see what the subsequent moves are going to be. But right now, as long as volume is like this, you're probably going to just hang around here. You may get a pop down. This will be reaccumulative versus like a actual distribution. It'll be a reaccumulation, a spring down real quick into this range, a pop back up, maybe a retest, and then eventually you just go back up here anyway. Bear trap down here, and then eventually just go up. So I'd be watching this area for something like this, a trading range being built, something like around like this, between roughly around 542.17 and 543.67. Gather enough strength. At that point, when that spring does happen, you watch for high volume coming in here. When that happens, calls go right back the other way. But this is not bearish right now, especially as volume is declining when you're just sitting here right on top of this range. All right, and obviously, again, it's lunchtime, so you can't expect a lot of volume really happening around here. You know. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So hopefully we'll see how this plays out, but keep an eye on it, man. This is all we're looking for all day long, twice on, you know, throughout the day. So you can at least get 2 opportunities pretty much throughout the day in order to make these plays, man. It at least gives you 2 on the SPY. On the SPY, if you're watching nothing but the SPY, you can get at least 2 plays a day on this thing if you wanted to. All right. Appreciate you guys once again being here. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. We're going to be back here at least 2 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, roughly around the same time. Say 10:30-ish. It's about noon. So about now. I'm probably going to get off in a couple seconds. Got some other things to handle in the meantime. Kids are off right now. So, you know, there's spring break going around. So we're doing all those little fun things you do in between. And then that's that. But let me see. Peter Parker, what's happening, man? We're back, man. Welcome back, my friend. Appreciate you, as usual. All right. We'll be back about 2 days a week, man. We're gonna do this a little bit, but I'm spending a lot of time with the guys in the Discord. They're killing it, man. Multiple 100% plays, 1,500% play yesterday. Still, my man. He's actually in here right now. Killed it yesterday, man. I'm like, damn, that's what's up, bro. Man, I congratulate everybody that's doing their thing in there, man. If you guys want to join in and jump in with us, we're there every single morning. Before we're in the stream, we're in there probably like 9 o'clock in the morning prior to the market open. We go over different plays, opportunities, and some guys are just learning their strategies and putting it into work, man. But right now, it's beautiful. OnlyFans made $20 million last night. I worked 6 days to make $80K. Yeah. It's a spiritual thing, man. What can I say, brother? You know, it is what it is. Yeah, she figured something out. It's a little bit different for them, but you know, for us as a gentleman, a lot of the time we got, it's a little bit different, bro. You know, we got different tools we got to put to use. It's either you have it one way, or you got to. They say you either have it in your head or have it in your heel. Right? That's the old saying. So either you can, use your brain, or you gotta use your back. That's what you gotta pick. You gotta take your pick. As men, you know what I'm saying? So it's what it is. Shout out to anybody. No disrespect to anybody. Just understand that's just one of the laws of life, man. All right. But anyways, man. Either ways, I'm gonna get ready to roll out of here again as usual, man. I appreciate you guys stopping in. Again, I'm gonna be here usually for the next little while. Let's see, not next little while, but generally for the next couple weeks. Gonna be at least 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, roughly around 10:30. I'll be posting the link up on YouTube, the YouTube link onto X. And again, I'll actually, if anybody share those, let everybody know we're here. So when I do post them up, and we'll keep in contact on X as well. Keep looking at these charts, watching this AMC, GME, all the other stocks in between, SPY, potential plays, some opportunities potentially, like we did with the other day with Meta, which obviously was a great play. Hopefully somebody took us up on that. SPY and so on and so on and so on, man. So opportunities here, general education stuff that we can see on these charts, and at very, very least, some entertainment. All right. But I appreciate everybody up in here. I'm going to say peace to everybody that's in the stream, because I can get ready to roll out and move on to the next thing for the day. And everybody that's back, all the old folks from way back when, and the ones that still rock now, I do appreciate you 150%. All right. Say peace to everybody in the room. Oaks Way, man, Elemental. All right, Braveheart. Appreciate you. Pablo, Iron Man. Saint 927, appreciate you. Look at this consolidation, man. This thing's about to pop up. Give it like an hour. 546, bro. Let me see who else. Iron Man, appreciate you. Andy, just keep an eye on that master play, man. That master's gonna do some things. Who else? John Vincent, appreciate you stopping in. Hero of the day, always a pleasure. Spaghetti Master, Positive Insights, my guy. Love the name once again, as I always tell you. Who else? Mighty Green. Good convo, man. Appreciate you keeping up with this whole thing. Let me see. Oh, Doge. Doge. Gotta check out Doge in a second, man. And who else? Iron Man Distraction. Yeah, it was Distraction. Peter Parker, always a pleasure, man. J Hunter K, man. Definitely appreciate you once again. Alright, and I think that's it. I may not be able to do Doge right now, but we'll keep an eye on it, man. If anything, hit me in the inbox. We can go over to it. If you're, I'm sure you follow me on X. I don't know what your name on the X is, but hit me in the inbox, man. We'll work on that, and we can go over it, man. But I'm gonna get ready to run real quick. But again, as usual, appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys get 1% better every single day. Increase your opportunities. Buy back your time. These days out here are evil. You know what I mean? So get better at this stuff. It is going to pay dividends for you in the long run. Not just for you, but the people that you care about. All right? Take it easy. Be blessed. Stay up. I'll catch you on the next one on Tuesday. All right? If I don't talk to you guys on X throughout the rest of the next couple of days, have a peaceful and great weekend. All right? You guys take it easy, y'all. Peace. Also, link is in the description if you guys would like to join us. The link is in the description here for the Way Up Trading Group. Doing some things in, like I mentioned. Links in the description. Check that out. Catch you guys soon. Peace.